up, everyone? My name is Morcie, and if you're new to this channel, I encourage others to experience the joy of being and to live with effortless ease, meaning be aware enough to choose the next simplest step. Doesn't necessarily mean that life will be easy, but there's an ease to how we can make choices in our life. And in today's video, I like to talk about how you can invite presence into your morning routine. You don't have to change what you do. You can simply just add this into your morning routine or any time of the day, but specifically for this video, the morning routine. It's important to know it's not necessarily what you do, but it's how you do it. Because when you invite presence into what you do, right, you are allowing yourself to feel a sense of satisfaction and just being alive and being aware. Our primary purpose anyways, to feel that feeling of that joy of life, of being alive, and everything we do is extra. Anything we accomplish throughout the day, throughout our life, that's extra. That foundation is the joy of being, right? So what I want to share with you is what I do in the morning. And what I like to do in the morning, it gets me going, it puts me in a really good rhythm, and it really makes me feel very fulfilled throughout the day, because that's how I like to start off my day, because that's when we have the most energy. In the morning is when we have the most energy. So instead of being all in our head and focusing on that thought chatter, it's nice to bring in a sense of awareness and become aware, oh, there goes that thought chatter. I'm gonna bring myself back to the present moment. So one thing I do, the first thing I do when I wake up is scan my body. You know, get a good feeling of, whoa, I just woke up, I was dreaming. I tend to dream vividly a lot. So I wake up and I'm like, whoa, this is real life right here. And I scan my body. Start off with my feet, my legs, thighs, stomach, arms, just like feel the life in your body, you're alive. A lot of times too, when I do that, immediately when I wake up, I can feel this connection with my body where I know where I'm sore. Because if I've worked out the day before or I've been walking a lot of times I could feel my feet, like there's a heaviness on my feet or like soreness from the day. So it's just nice to really get in touch with how you're feeling physically, right? And get your mind out of what you're going to do during the day. After that, I just start naming things I'm grateful for. And I don't just name it, but I like to feel it. So when you do this, feel it. Feel the presence in your life, because it's grounding. It grounds you. It takes you out of that state of wanting and waiting for something to happen. And it puts you in the state of being, of feeling, of knowing that everything you need is right here. So I'll say, you know, I feel gratitude. I'm grateful for my health, for my body. I'm grateful for my feeling sore, my feet feeling heavy. My body can let me know when something is a little bit more tense than usual. You know, gratitude for the sun shining through my room, able to wake me up. Grateful for my cat, who's right next to me, staring at me, waiting for me to feed her, or walking all over me, waiting for me to feed her, right? Those little things, they make a difference throughout the day. You're already present. You're there appreciating life. Next, I like to get out of bed, and I must make my bed, okay? So, and I hope you do too. And after this, if you don't like making your bed in the morning, I think that what I'm about to tell you will help you want to make your bed, because there's no way I could leave my house without my bed made. So when I make my bed, I like to feel my presence, right? Becoming the observer of your world. And I actually made a video about focusing on being the observer, and I'll put the link right here. But Focus on being the observer of what you do. So as you make the bed, you're folding the sheets over, you're straightening out the comforter, you're putting on the pillows, right? What you're doing is you're giving your fullest attention to what you're doing. Remember, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And how you're doing it is giving it your fullest attention. Whenever you give something your fullest attention, there's a satisfaction in it. You are aware that you're the observer. It's almost like awareness is becoming aware that it's the observer. And it's like, whoa, this is kind of nice. It's serene. It's definitely a basis of where you always want to come back to in life. No matter what's happening in life, no matter what didn't go the way you expected, this feeling of that peace and satisfaction is always where you want to return to. And one of the most powerful ways is doing it during something that is very mundane. Doing it during a time where you're doing something repetitive. So when something drastic might happen in your life, when you feel like you're breaking down or whatever it might be, you already have this habit of going back to this place of stillness, back to this place of observation. So as you make your bed, focus on being the observer. When you brush your teeth, focus on being the observer. When you're in a shower, right? And don't force yourself. If you find yourself falling into thought chatter, it's all good. The most important part is coming back to awareness, right? The most important part is realizing that thought wasn't real. That story in your mind wasn't real. That story is from the past. It's no longer happening. What you're thinking about in the future, it doesn't exist. It's just one possibility out of the many possibilities that could ever exist. So, bringing yourself back is most important whenever it comes to inviting presence into your life. Next, I go for a walk or I'll do yoga. But when let's say for example, you go for a walk, choose to be there fully and observe nature, observe what you see and what you hear without labeling it, right? So see if you can not think and focus on how you're perceiving things, just your perception. It's almost like a curiosity, like you're a kid again. You know, you look at the trees and you just see it and allow it to be and see it there. If there's thought chatter in your mind, this is your moment to focus on being the observer once again. You know, just be like, thought chatter is like the TV on in the background in the room. You notice it, oh, all right, let me focus on this. Focus on the birds, you might hear nature. Or a lot of times as I'm walking on the sidewalk, I hear cars passing, sometimes they're honking. Just be there with it. Allow it to happen, right? It's very calming. It's very, you're allowing yourself to be there and you're focusing more on perception, on observing. Our mind works a lot throughout the day. And many times the mind is focusing on, let's say the ego. The ego is getting a lot of our attention because it's building these very strong boundaries, right? Because it's trying to build its sense of self. So things we want to accomplish, things we want to achieve, a lot of times they all go into making this ego more firm. It's more of like a self system. But when you choose to bring yourself out of that more and more, the ego, it has less control, right? I want to share an example with you when it comes to ego, right? Your ego is almost like the dictator in your mind. And when you're not aware, it tends to dictate how you react and what you think and how you feel. But the more you bring yourself back into presence, that dictator starts to lose its position. And it becomes more of this democratic society in your mind, right? So it's more focused on organization and problem solving and the analytics of the world of, you know, what you have to do in life. And everything else is present. So you see there's a balance towards this self system. So this is something good to just encourage you to know that, you know what, as I'm observing this, I'm not giving all this energy to ego. I am giving more energy to the present moment. And through the present moment, you actually receive more energy as well. So you'll notice that the more you're present, the more you're perceiving, you're not as, you don't get tired, you don't get drained. Because I know I get very drained if I'm in my head too much, if I'm following that thought chatter. So go for a walk, and as you exercise, even as I do yoga, I just focus on like the sensations in my body. Sometimes you're holding a pose and that pose really hurts, but instead of naming that pain, instead of calling it pain, feel it as a sensation. And many times you can hold that pose longer. I can hold the pose longer, and yoga is more enjoyable. It's always been enjoyable, but it's even more enjoyable because I'm not adding those concepts to what I'm doing. It's more of a balance. You don't want to take everything away, but you want to balance that out and be more present. Next, I like to drink a cup of tea, or if you eat, or if you drink coffee, whatever it is you might do in the morning to add some food to your body. Eat it, drink it without any distractions. Just be there. Because many times we might want to stare at our phone or do something else, but be there fully, you know. Taste that drink as if you've never tasted it before. Drink that coffee, drink that tea as if you've never drank it before. Eat that food as if you've never had it before. Just be there fully. It's very satisfying in that moment, and you're not in this rush to finish. You're enjoying eating. Eating is not a means to an end. Drinking is not a means to an end. You're doing it. You're paying attention to what you're doing. And last but not least, definitely not least, I love reading. Reading is incredibly important. So when you read, when you take the time to read in the morning and you feel there's something that really got you, like you felt that deeply, don't keep reading. Stop and just feel it. Take it in. Sometimes I read things, they're so deep, I feel like I'm having a spiritual awakening while I'm reading. So I want to take that in little by little. You know, sometimes in the morning, I don't even read a lot. I read as much as I'm like, wow, that was good. And I just want to let that sink in throughout the day. You know, I'll probably read again later, but I want that moment. I just want it to sit in because it's so powerful. That's how I feel. You know, so in that you are meditating. As you invite presence into your life, you are meditating. You know, what I do add is 20 minutes of just doing my best to focus on just not thinking and just being there. But if that's not something you can add in your day, whether it's, you know, 5 minutes or what have you, you've already been meditating. You know, you don't really have to do a meditation. Meditation is really just like a state of being. You can be in meditation. So, you know, when I choose to sit for 20 minutes and just be there and focus on being the observer and having a clear, still mind, I am being in a state of stillness. That is meditation. You don't have to do one. So, you know, everything I shared with you here is you adding meditation into what you do. So you don't have to feel like you have to sit and do nothing if that's not something you're ready to do right now. So all of these things, focusing on being the observer, feeling your presence, observation, no concepts, you know, really focusing on perceiving thought chatters, just being in the background, things like that, right? You can do that anytime, and just know that it gives you more life. It gives you more energy. So, you know, like down below if you've done any of this before. Comment down below what you do in your morning routine, and not just what you do. Tell me how you do it. That's what I want to know. How do you do it? My name is Morcie. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, comment down below, and check out these 2 videos right here. Until next time, peace.